Nominate someone. There's one way.
Everybody look away.
I just got somebody to eat here.
No eye contact.
Well, I really wish Sonia was here, because I think Sonia would be great.
Let's do it, let's just vote her in.
Price to pay if you don't come.
Right. Well, she'd be great.
Somebody call her on the phone, quick, get an answer.
Sure, you don't want to be chair.
Yeah.
So if
Somebody else should. Catherine's.
if there's a nomination, then the person's not here, what do we do?
Oh, I don't think we can do that.
They have to-
No,
they have-
I mean,
They have to,
yeah.
they have to say yes, I know, but can we defer it? Or-
Oh, we can defer this, but is there nobody else at this table who is interested?
Well, not me, I got my hands full.
Well, yeah,
We wouldn't do that to you, Karen.
not you. It's going down.
Not yet. We all know, not yours.
Craig, you want, can
I kind of feel like I don't really know exactly what's going on.
Okay, join the club.
All you have to do is run all you have to do is run the show.
There's a lot of support for this.
Yeah.
Sean,
I mean, if nobody.
Do you want the chair?
I don't think I can.
No.
No, she's not a-
she
she's
can't
not
do
voting
that.
I'm not a voting
Oh, you're
member.
not, okay.
I think Catherine's very good.
I like
Well, here
that.
we go, Catherine.
I'm gonna nominate
But
Catherine.
Catherine's been
I'm
doing
gonna
this for
nominate
5
her.
years.
I would second that.
4 or 5 years.
I have been
Take
for a
another
long
one,
time.
so-
I don't want to be,
You might
I
have to
saw her
say-
nod her head, yes.
Catherine's done her 2 terms.
No, I think you need to pass this down here.
Oh,
I
before
can
this
like
guy-
my arms only sound right.
I mean, the advantage of me being it is that I am around during the day to talk to Shauna if there's anything that needs to be done.
Well, that's
And I don't
perfect.
mind doing that. I mean, I don't mind running the meeting, but I don't want to be, I want to be the
Margaret Thatcher of the.
Yeah, exactly, that's what, or the Donald Trump or whatever.
Don't say that.
Just took a
One
turn.
minute.
Reading it.
How about if we promise to you real easy on you?
Oh, yeah. You know,
Trust
it's
us.
so hard on me.
Trust us.
Trust us.
Well, I think we
I
should
feel like it's
ask,
happening.
maybe
We
ask
run before
Shauna.
How about a vice chair? Does anyone want to take the vice chair on?
Aren't you vice chair right now?
Yeah,
And you don't want to be it again?
I'll stay vice chair. I don't-
Okay.
yeah,
There you
I'm
go.
good with
Yeah,
vice
yeah,
chair.
that's good.
We go
Perfect.
Noah.
So the recommendation is that the Recreation and Community Services Commission recommend that Noah Price Jones be elected as vice chair. I'll move that. Second, all in favor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's chairing already though. There
He's
you
already
go.
The best part is, I
You're
don't have
done,
the
man.
chair.
You
I
are
don't have
so
the
done.
chair, that's no way out of the chair.
You are so done.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Relax now.
You appointed the chair, how did that happen?
Well, you could have done that.
Didn't the vice just step up to be chair?
Well, you might
Sometimes,
not.
but you're such a good chair.
So
Why
This could
nominated
be a
you?
grooming period.
Yeah.
It's a succession plan.
Yeah,
Doesn't
sorry.
say that in here.
Okay, no, this is now a grooming session. I'm writing down, no one is to
Succession
be
plan.
groomed.
A groomed. Yeah. Takes his hair.
Well, I'm gonna be away in March, so you have to run the meeting then.
Awesome, okay.
There's your first grooming.
So we're in, we've done this.
Interesting
vote.
chair.
No,
You've done vice chair.
I don't.
You're gonna defer the chair?
Been
Or-
around.
or
Then, come on.
Well,
That was my
Chair.
excuse, you gotta come with your own.
Like Catherine, you have such
Like,
a
I
depth
would be awful.
of knowledge that like,
Yeah.
I don't
I
feel
agree.
like I have, like you, every time we have a meeting, you go way back, right?
She's not gonna retire.
There you go.
We're not killing her.
Way over there. Like deep into the coffers.
You guys got the old.
I meant that.
Way down.
The nicest sort.
I am.
Way.
So why don't we just defer that and give you time to think about it?
Well, I'd like to ask
We
Sonia.
could ask, we could
Yeah.
defer it and ask.
Or why don't we, I've got an idea, why don't we elect who's chair now, and then we can rescind it? And
Sure.
elect Sonia.
Yeah, I'd love to be rescinded, that would be
Is
fun.
that easier than deferring?
Impeached.
In your.
I guess I could. Yeah, okay, we can defer it.
Okay.
Has Sonia expressed any interest in it?
No.
Neither of you, so.
But
It's just
when
that
I-
she's not here.
when I coordinated the Sunrun Nick, I nominated Sonia for that too when I.
Oh, really?
Oh, so
You guys
there's
got
some history here.
Here's Sonia, you do it. And she did a great job.
Okay, so we'll defer then.
I guess we'll defer. Thank you.
We'll defer on the grounds that Sonia's about to be victimized.
Sonia's not here.
Yeah.
Is anyone gonna communicate this conversation with her?
I'll talk to her.
I say we just put her on speakerphone now, not give her a chance to back away from it.
Is she away? Do we know where she is?
I don't know.
It's not like her to not say something, so I don't know what's happened with it.
She knew there was an election.
She knew about her agenda. She's like, I am not going.
Yeah, she may.
That's what the smart people do. That's what the smart people do now.
Okay. And the meeting schedule. Has everyone looked at that and thought that works? Why have we had so much trouble keeping our schedule?
No, this is just an annual January elections and schedule every January. It happens, so.
But this wasn't our regular meeting night.
No, because Steph and I were away
Oh.
on different weeks
Oh,
for
okay.
conferences already in January.
Christmas holidays, conference.
Okay. So.
So typically,
But we're not gonna go back, are we gonna do the second week in February, which is like 2 weeks away from now?
which is also Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Such a special.
Sounds like some chocolate hearts.
Delicious.
Oh,
Maybe
I'm
it's
fine to be here on Valentine's Day.
I'm not expecting to be out in my house either, so.
Yeah, for the
Bunch
lonely
of lonely hearts,
hearts.
yeah. Lonely Hearts Club.
We could have a blue Valentine. We could make this a blue Valentine meeting.
I would rather not of it. I mean, not that anything's going
Bragger.
on, but Valentine's Day.
That's fine, and it is only 2 weeks away, so it's
Yeah.
pretty tight,
Okay, so the third week?
maybe the third,
The 21st?
yeah.
Good
We
with
don't
that.
wanna, yeah, let's not make it a month, because then we'll just keep messing it up.
Mhm.
So,
So I'm
yeah,
gonna say except, I'll say except,
So then we're
August.
gonna run into spring break. I'm just
oh, when's spring break?
putting this out
First
there.
week
The
of March.
19th,
Or
those
second.
last 2 weeks of March.
So we could still fit in the, if we went back to the second
Yeah.
Wednesday in March, we can still do that before spring break.
But that's only
Right.
2
So
weeks,
where are we
well,
doing
3
February?
weeks.
There'll be 3 weeks, yeah, I like your idea,
Yeah.
Nick,
Where we-
Yeah.
we'll get back into
Trying to
sync.
get back close to
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
okay.
We're doing the 21st in February?
yes.
Okay, that's good. Put that in there.
And then we'll do the, whatever that is in March, the right night in March.
The 14th of
14th.
March.
So we said the
And this is at
23rd?
Get
Fine,
21st.
Can't see my calendar. There it is.
Okay, 21st and the 14th.
That's terrible.
Was it the 14th of
Yes.
March?
And
And
then
it's
we'll be on
5?
schedule with the second Wednesday of every,
We'll say except August unless there's something.
except August, and July's questionable.
Yeah, we'll look at the summer as we get closer, if there's
Yeah.
stuff that needs to be dealt with, or, you know, people go, it's summer. you know,
Can always cancel, it's just a,
Yeah,
It's nice to vote on
It's
this,
just a
so it's like the
place-
committee's agrees, works for the committee,
Bit of a
and then
placeholder.
change
Well,
it's fine, but
it's part of the deal too, eh? It's part of the regs, we gotta put some
as we covered
dates
this
in.
afternoon.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm chairing that March one, for sure.
Yes, you are, sir.
March 14th.
I'll be with the gorillas and off.
for you.
So you'll be saving in
21st. And what date did we say in March?
14.
14th.
So, the Recreation Service Commission recommended that its meetings be held every second Wednesday of the month at 5:00 PM, except August and February, which will be on the 21st.
Sounds good.
Thank
Mover? I need a vote.
Noah is moving it,
Thank you.
Gary's seconding it, all in favor?
It's like,
Craig?
Yeah.
it's a little hydraulic.
Yay, unanimously.
Okay, good, that's good.
Awesome.
Tick, tick, tick.
Well done.
Ooh, action items, I think I was supposed to do something I didn't.
All right, so action items. So those are just right out of the work plan, and
Yeah.
Steph and I thought we may just kind of run through them and give a little update of where we might be at with,
Okay.
with achieving some of those. A lot of them might not be relevant yet. some of them we're gonna take care of tonight in terms of becoming familiar with the FAQs. And Catherine, do you wanna just read through the action items and we can just, whoever's kinda got an idea or?
Okay, so I'll just start from the top here. So support the community center fundraising committee on initiatives as required.
So that, there's no initiatives yet, but they're coming.
They're coming, okay.
They be coming.
Because I
They
keep
be
hearing
coming.
about them, but I haven't. So just be aware that if there is something that we can step up into, let's do it. I don't, fundraising, but we can do something.
I'm sure.
Okay, be available to discuss the community center with the public with accurate information at community events. So that is where we get to our little contest. See if we memorized our facts.
That's right.
So we can change that.
Yeah, so that was
Ongoing.
based around, so we'll change it to ongoing, that was based around that first
Oh, right,
open house.
yeah.
There isn't any other open house at the moment officially, but, there likely will be, so.
Okay, so the second one is, or the third one is basically the same thing. It's become familiar with the facts on the project website.
Yeah, so we'll be working on that tonight.
Be a positive advocate for the community, for the building of a community center, which we all are.
Or the meetings will continue.
Hold on a second. So I've been pushing the community center, but I was telling Sean this, in my peer group, I have massive pushback on the community center.
Oh, really?
Because the municipal hall is going in it.
Yeah. Oh.
Huge pushback on
So
it.
what
do
have
they
you said to them?
I'm just listening to them, first of all, right?
Yeah.
And most of them feel that we should have a separate building for a municipal hall, and then we should have a community center that is just community center based.
Yes. Like, why are they taking it
Now,
over?
I understand the reasoning behind it, because we're using the leverage of the money that we're
Yeah,
raising. I
yeah.
understand that, right?
Yeah, so that's important to get people to understand.
But when
that.
I got pushed back on with that,
Yeah.
was, a friend of mine with doing the tax, like what the tax increase would be. And he's like, well, for an extra, not even $100 a year on your taxes, we could have just a community center. And then, municipal hall could be built still without leveraging money somewhere else or on that property separately. Like there's,
I don't-
I'm
why-
getting that push. from
What,
them.
what are they saying? Why, if they have a problem with the municipal hall being
I think
in
they
there?
just, like, they feel like it's not a community center. Because that's attached. I am pushing that.
Do they
We need to
understand that
start-
a lot of the municipal halls, rooms will also be used for community
Events.
in the evenings and
spaces.
and
Spaces
stuff?
in the minutes. right?
Yeah,
Okay.
so those rooms are gonna be available.
I did not say that to them.
Okay, so that's a good thing to say to them, that,
There's a community conference room, which would be like this room, but
Yeah.
bigger, and it would be available, at night.
well,
in the
most, some
evening.
evenings.
Plus-
And then there's another.
The
another meeting
council
room.
chamber
That,
It's just
yeah,
like this,
will
but
also
bigger.
be available.
Yeah.
plus the meeting room, big meeting room that would also be available.
Okay.
So it's.
There's a lot of
it
synergies.
is- Yeah,
Yeah, In the
definitely.
construction and a whole bunch of other things.
The
I
other
know there's
thing
a
I was
time, but that's,
thinking
I'm
is-
just telling you, like, this
Yeah,
is
okay,
what I'm
no, I
getting when
appreciate
I'm
it.
pushing it,
Well, that's
right?
good, so
Yeah.
you need to be able to
Because
step
that's-
up and say, this is why, if
Mhm.
this is happening. I mean, having two buildings, then you're gonna have two systems for heating and
Oh, yeah.
cooling and plumbing, and you have one building where it's all in there, then you save a whole lot of money, because everybody uses everything, right? So that saves money.
Are there any other community centers that have used this model before? So we're kind of trailblazers?
I would say so.
Okay.
That's a nice way to put it, trailblazers.
Positive spin
A
on
lot of
it.
people would agree, but, yeah, you know, the problem is we definitely have to have a new city hall. We need municipal offices. I mean, we're gonna lose these at some point in time. It's costing us.
And these are
a lot of money.
expensive.
Anyway, that's,
Right?
but that's a point well taken, and bring it
Yeah,
up to the
it's-
next community center thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
It's
gonna
gonna be a
change.
tough one, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna
can't see
change
it
either.
changing.
It's just
So
how
you just
to-
need to
It's-
try to explain why it's
Yeah.
happening.
The synergies is a
The
good
bottom
way,
line
a
is
good way to
just
say
money.
it.
It's
Yeah.
all
It's all
about
about
money.
money.
Yeah.
Well, I was kind of interested, they said they would be interested in paying $100 a year more in taxes. I
Yeah.
don't think that would be a selling point, maybe it is amongst
It-
your peer group, but I don't think it would be a big seller anywhere else, so that's,
Yeah.
are they aware of that? Like, what they're saying
Yeah.
is probably less, is.
They're aware of, they're aware of what they're saying.
Yeah.
It's
Because
like, it's not like just a random person. This is a very business forward thinking entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Like he is
So are they
very,
talking $100 extra?
like, yeah, he knows.
$100 extra?
Yeah.
Over the top of the
Over
fire
top
hall.
of
Because
what?
you've already
Yeah,
got
the fire halls are 69 bucks or something, but that's for,
That's 3 million, right? So you're looking at
That's
10,
3
so
million.
you're asking for, they're saying, I'd rather pay $200 opposed to 130 for, that's what they were saying.
now, do they just want a standalone,
Yeah.
it's just a standalone community center? Do they want some more facilities in there? Do they want a gym in there, of
A
course?
gym,
Yeah, of course.
racquetball,
Yeah,
pool.
Yeah. So now we're, don't even talk about a pool, because a pool,
I
you
know,
it's just,
Yeah,
I
no.
know.
gosh, it's just so
I
unbelievable.
mean, I get it on the gym. I actually, I would agree. I would be willing to certainly put $100 on a year as we get a gym. That would be amazing, but.
Well, down the road, I would like to
I
see
don't
a
know that's
swimming
gonna
pool and a gym.
sell.
It won't- I know it
On-
won't
sell.
on- In the bigger picture.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of people
One thing we
that are
have to
thinking
remember is the community put money into the school gym
Mhm.
to have a bigger, double the size of a regular elementary school gym. And so that's a selling feature for the older folks, because they know they spent money to put that gym in, and the plan is that gym will continue to be used for recreational programs. So that's why the gym is not included at this point. I would love to see it added, second phase or
Yeah.
whatever, because I'm
Yeah.
sure we need another gym. But that's the thinking behind that.
So that's a group, that's a demographic who won't necessarily wanna pay more money.
No.
They feel like they've already paid that
Yeah.
money. So they won't wanna pay more money to put a new gym in the new
I think that's a
facility.
tough
It's,
sell.
I don't think it's a gym per se, like they want weight rooms, racquetball, like I can't speak to exactly what, squash, all kinds of
I
stuff
didn't
like
even
that.
know it was popular.
You know, there's other stuff,
it's
right?
another meeting
They were throwing things at it,
I know.
right?
Could the council please duck?
Well, I think, what I understand from people is that people want a community center, and they were buying into a community center, not a municipal hall. And I think when the municipal hall thing came in and everybody, it said, okay, municipal hall is now gonna be the community center. And people are going, well, hang on a second, we want a community center. We want a recreation facility. We don't want the municipal hall to relocate into those rooms that are now being built.
All right.
So how do
And
we,
I think that's where people have.
Yeah, so, but the
Upset.
rooms that are being built for the municipal hall were never recreation rooms that the municipal hall has moved into. It was never that. The municipal hall was designed specifically for the those rooms were specifically for the municipal hall.
and we don't have,
With the ability to use some of those rooms in downtimes. So, I know I felt upset when I heard the municipal hall was going in there and they were taking the majority of the
Well,
space.
yeah.
Majority.
no, a third.
It's the
A
third.
third, but the
Yeah,
It's
third.
only a third.
and
Okay.
It's only a third.
5,500
square feet to be exact.
Not that, the whole recreation facility has now morphed into a recreation
So-
facility and
So it's
municipality.
become a community facility. So community includes government. So that's really how we have to maybe just turn it in, it's a community facility. It's got theater, it's got recreation, it's got government.
I also, the plan, like the way that the layout of the building is now, which I can't, it hasn't been to the steering committee yet, so I don't feel like I can bring it out here, but there is gonna be when you walk in, the whole idea is that you feel like you've walked into the community center, you don't feel like you've walked into municipal
No.
hall.
Oh, good.
Walk in.
I was just thinking of getting those.
They're in the hallway, and no, they're not current.
These aren't current.
No, unfortunately. But you walk, they're sort of
We tried
current, sort of
Thanks,
current.
yeah.
If you bring in that one with in the hallway, I think it's a little
That
bit.
we're not allowed
Well,
to see.
No, you're allowed to see that one,
Oh,
it's a
okay.
little different now.
Just
But,
take
you're gonna walk in, there's gonna be reception, it's gonna be like walking into a community center.
Yeah.
The reception is there.
You will
They're gonna
not
say,
know that the
"Hello."
municipal hall is there.
That's right. You won't be looking like you're walking into Municipal Hall. Someone is gonna be there, they're gonna say, hi Noah, are you going to the fitness room? That's not the one, Steph, sorry, it's the other one.
I'll get it.
I get it.
It's okay, go on.
This is good because it does show the differentiation between the.
Yeah, all the yellow is,
Things.
except.
Yeah, just that floor plan stuff.
But the reception is gonna be your recreation clerk who says, hi Pam, are you here to go to the,
Yeah, are you paying a parking ticket?
That's not what they're gonna say. There's gonna be a separate door.
You can
Exactly.
take a look at that.
There's gonna be a separate door that you go into to go pay your parking ticket. So I'm wondering if that's.
Anyway, you know, it's hard to,
That's what I like there.
Yeah, but it's a little bit different, but if you see where,
this now becomes reception for here.
we can bring this one a little bit closer, maybe. Stand.
It falls,
It falls down.
Fall down.
Put a chair,
get the stand.
put a chair behind it or something.
So this, if this is the main entry, this reception area has now been reworked into basically 2 receptions. So this is gonna be still the main entry. If you wanna go to the municipal hall and pay your parking ticket, you're gonna walk through some other doors to go in here, and this is where you're gonna do that. If you wanna just come, to go to the weight room, this person, which is gonna be closed off from the municipal hall, there's a couple people sitting here, and that's gonna be the person who greets you, that's the community center reception, it's the community center entrance, per se. So you talk to this person about paying for your weight room drop-in. You talk to this person about getting your tickets for the performance that night. You talk to this person about taking your kid to play care. You go into a separate door, so separate glass doors probably here. Now you're in municipal hall. This is where you're gonna talk to an administrative person who's gonna take your money for your bylaw.
And these are gonna be community spaces, right here and here, and that's changed up a bit too, but it's essentially
It's
the
the
same.
same
So
size,
really,
but
the
location
municipal
has
is just this blue area.
It's the blue area, right?
And it's not,
Yeah.
you know, it's not that huge.
So the community center piece of it is all the rest of it.
I guess what I would be concerned with is I would see the municipality growing and actually absorbing more space over time.
Yeah.
In that building?
And that's my only thing, like when a push comes to shove, the community will take the space.
Oh.
No.
No,
I don't
I don't think so. The offices, there are a couple of extra seats, like in the open office area already for expansion. We've built that in. And
Public Works is already.
Public Works is gonna be down.
Elsewhere.
Elsewhere. And I just, yeah, I think the community, when you look at the programming that's gonna happen in the community space, I would be very surprised if that.
Once again, perception is probably more powerful than reality. That would be, just from my time on this earth, watching government grow, is, it's relentless. And, yeah.
Like a fungus.
And so it's like the common space, or the space that would be, that would be my fear. So if you could address that, or if, I guess, or, sort of,
Well, the only way to address it is-
alleviate my concerns,
Well, I
which
think
are shared.
if you
then-
remember that there's
Yeah.
a possibility to build in stages.
Yeah,
So
that,
if the municipality, the government is growing, then add a floor, whatever they can do to expand their needed space.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we're gonna grow too.
yeah,
you know,
well,
so
that's
we're
why,
gonna get space as we go along, so.
Absolutely.
absolutely, and that's, and that maybe that's how you address that thing. Like, if there is a need for growth, then both will grow.
Yeah, I think it's important when we sort of plan and rezone this lot too, is that we leave lots of space for growth.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yes, it will.
I mean,
Yeah.
think about it as a Stanley Park. Who had the wisdom to put a Stanley Park in there? I mean, it's a fantastic.
I think it was the first.
It's not quite Stanley Park. But
But if you, like, my
we
experience.
gotta have land. If we
No,
got it
no.
now, we gotta make sure that we secure it.
We have to
Yeah.
make sure, because
Yeah.
West Vancouver, when they redid the community center, the day we moved in, it was too small. Glen Eagle,
Yeah,
too small.
Yeah.
You know, they complained about it's not being used, so you start programming it, and it's like, there is no room, I can't put anything else in there.
it's the same thing in Falls Creek. The day it opened, they started looking at building
And
it
other
bigger.
places,
Yeah, they had
So
to.
we have to make sure there's land, because it's gonna happen here, for sure. which is great, it's fantastic, but let's make sure we got the place to move and grow.
It's gonna be difficult, I think, to change it fundamentally, the plan now,
Yeah.
other than throwing it off and
Yeah,
reworking
that
the
would be
whole
a
thing.
huge amount
That's
of
the
money.
unfortunate thing, like, once you start at this stage,
Yeah.
you've gotta start working on this one, and any changes to this, just throw the timelines
So
off.
does
Yeah,
that-
and
It
there's
does,
certain
and
point-
we've
well,
already,
the
this
timeline's
is,
already
you
about a
know,
year
we're
in.
already
Yeah.
four
But
phases.
since
into
2020 and the
Remind me,
FAQs.
Do you see that the
Not
municipal
design.
hall is really, it's attached, but it's really separate, cause
Well,
that,
I have these same concerns, and because, and I know we were all excited going, oh yes, a community recreation facility, this is awesome, and then you go, oh, well, actually, it's not quite that,
It was never called a community recreation facility,
no,
okay.
no, never,
ever.
it's always.
Because it
been-
isn't, I mean, we have very limited
Yeah.
recreation in there.
I think you also want to be able to sell that that's is a services as well. Paying parking tickets maybe, but there's also advantages to having a center, the community, like, so you could go, go and talk, you've got concerns with whatever,
It's everything.
it's something you can do, yeah.
Then we could all go to the gym.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, you get riled up when you're talking to the staff, well, you come over to the way.
work it out, work it out.
Can I just ask a question, Noah and Sean, possibly about the history? Wasn't there already a suggestion of having a more expensive, not anchor tenanted community center, like before my time living here, and then the vote was no? The community voted on it, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So that has been presented to the community, and they said no.
Yeah.
They won't pay that much, that was,
There's a
Well,
long.
it-
I
I
think
that was-
I think it's a different demographic.
Way different.
And it wasn't very well planned, and it was pretty rushed.
The history.
Yeah, you put it away, you put it away.
I'm not the chair.
Yeah,
It was a pretty rush job. It was like, we've gotta get something built, let's do this, let's make this really basic plan. And there was a pretty strong voice, No Voice, who published a lot of information out there, and it didn't lose by a huge amount, but it didn't go. And the arts people have tried to do something, but again, they have a business plan and stuff, but it's pretty,
but they also need the support of the municipality in there.
oh yeah.
That's the other thing, I mean, the arts community can't make it work
No,
without
without somebody paying
the muni in there.
Yeah, everybody has to come together
Yeah.
to make this happen, and I feel like there's a lot of efficiencies in this.
Well,
Plan
there certainly
with
is,
having-
and I think it's the only way it can happen,
yeah.
personally, but unless we wait another 5 or 10 years, then the costs are gonna be 100% more than they are now.
Exactly.
So, it's,
I think everybody, I think the community is so ready that even if they're not totally happy, they're desperate for something. And they're sick and tired of hearing the talk.
I like to call it phase one, but I got sort of shot down on that,
Yeah.
Which, then there's hope that there will be an expansion, and, there is gonna be something in the future, but we can't sort of say it's gonna happen.
No.
What might be key, and I'm not sure where we're at with it, is the development and the conceptual plan of all of Lot 2.
Yes, exactly.
To
Well, that's what I'm
show
saying, yeah.
what is,
Yeah,
what
And
is
if we can
planned
show-
for expansion.
and hopefully it'll happen in the not too distant future, but if we can show that there's another 50% worth of land up at the top end or something like that, that we're holding for something,
Right.
then I think that'll bring a lot of people along and say, hey, okay, they've thought about this and this is all we can do now. And the reality is, that's all we can do now. And then it's gonna be a push to even get this going.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be, it's gonna be a push to sell it, it's gonna be tight
Yep.
again, I think
Oh,
it'll be
I know.
tight. I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna be a slam
Well,
dunk.
one-
in the
Depends on how
ground.
much money we need,
The
that's
advantage,
what the
the
bottom line
advantage
is.
to this is we do have the arts
Yeah.
and the recreation together,
Yeah.
which we've never had before. It's, arts people always said, no freaking way, we don't have anything. And recreation say, I'm not supporting the theater, we don't have anything. So we have it together. So that
I
brings
could
us-
bring a group of people that are naysayers to this, and we could bring them here and explain it to them.
Have they got to any of the,
We had an open house,
Information
they come
sessions,
to
yeah.
open house.
the voice their
It's
opinions?
fine.
Because I haven't seen that anywhere,
Right.
either in writing or.
I don't know if they voiced them
talking
there,
about it
it's just
Or the
through
council.
different groups and stuff like that, yeah.
Anyway, it's, yeah, we'll bring it into the next meeting,
I don't,
and I don't know how we deal with
I,
it.
Well, that's
I
the
don't
thing,
think-
like,
I don't
well,
think they wanna come here,
I can bring them.
but I don't want them.
No, this isn't the right venue for that.
Yeah, that's
You're
right.
not the chair.
Yeah.
I'm not the chair.
It's not, this isn't,
That's
right.
the
We're not the right
marketing.
people to talk, we don't have a lot of information.
Right, but I'm just saying with that's why we're on this thing, right? Being a positive advocate. I'm
Yeah.
being a positive advocate, but I get a lot of pushback in my group. That's all.
Well,
And it's
so-
good that
So
you
that's why I'm
raise
bringing
that,
this
because
up.
Valuable
it is
information
valu-
to have.
It's really valuable
Right.
information, because your group, your demographic makes up
Yeah.
a huge part of this island.
Yeah, and it's
Sure
also
does.
we have a lot of little
40-year-olds.
kids
I know.
that are going to be using that, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
know, 40-year-olds with kids, like you're a huge part of this.
And I guess the question is, do they want this or do they want nothing?
That's what I say to them.
That's the option.
And that's what you have to say to them, this is what it is.
And this is a
This is
unique
the way it works.
opportunity. I mean,
That,
if we're the
that's
first
rarely
ones to do
convinces
this-
people.
Yeah, true that.
There
I
you go.
think
That's a
this
nice
is-
way to spin it.
I
Sorry.
like that
Yeah, what's
though.
that?
I didn't realize that. Like we are trendsetters.
Yeah.
Right, like, this is
Laser
the first time this has
trendsetters.
been done. Somebody is being creative. This is creative management, creative thinking, creative, like,
Yeah.
Resource
who's done
management.
this
Yeah, yeah,
before? Like, I think that's actually,
It's a sustainable way to build a community
it
center.
It
is a
is.
sustainable way.
It
And the
is.
synergies between the two and I think the expansion though does need to be a big part of it because it is.
Phase two, skate park.
Phase two,
Yes.
There
right?
you go.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully the skate park is
But-
part of one, but.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Part of the parking lot.
skate
Yeah.
park, yeah, it should
Yeah.
be.
Put it right outside the council chambers, the skate
Yeah.
park, right there.
Yeah.
Monday night skate night. Like,
Got a bunch of lights up, music.
All of a sudden, the kids are interested in politics.
wow.
So you keep talking to them, Noah.
But
trying.
I'm glad you brought that up because
You know, it's good.
it's
I
hard to be
appreciate
on
it,
this
too.
committee and have that sort of pushback, because I get the odd time too, you know, people will be.
Yeah, I mean, I've
asking
certainly heard of
and-
complaints about their municipal hall.
Lots of pool stuff too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can always try something like revamping, like the Tunstall Pool or something. Okay, we can't build a pool, but maybe we can refurbish that pool, which sadly needs a lot of work to keep going. So just throwing that out, if you.
Yeah. I don't think it's even the building, I think that could be done. It's the staffing and the heating and the.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
all
yeah.
the pool
There's a house for
They-
sale for $4 million.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have a lovely
It has-
pool.
it has a
It's
pool.
beautiful there.
Community center.
Yeah, just explain the cost of the pool.
What's the operating cost? So
It's
$1
operating
million
cost. That's-
$1 million a year.
$1 million a year, that's the big
today.
boogie.
I know.
You know, and we can't run like Tunstall Bay,
And it-
because
if
it's,
somebody
because
come-
it's a government facility, it has to have lifeguards. Tunstall Bay doesn't have lifeguards,
Right.
Yeah.
because they're private, so they don't have to. We have all sorts of regulations we would have to follow.
Yeah.
X number of lifeguards.
It was the treasurer of the Tunstall Bay Clubhouse that I got in an argument with about the pool. Because he knows the numbers on what it costs to run that pool, and then he's like, even we added in lifeguards, like, there's no way this is $1 million to run a pool.
But he's
But
that
Union
pool
is
is
very
And
not,
I'm like, listen, we looked at numbers from other community centers,
that
I'm
pool's
not lying
also
to
not
you.
adequate to be a
Right.
public pool.
Right.
And it's not
The
indoors.
size, yeah.
Right.
You'd
They're
have
only
to,
open in the warm weather.
Four
That's
times.
not what people
Yeah.
want. There's lots of ways to knock that argument down.
Yeah.
Just say
Anyway, you know,
it's not
somebody
a
might
big-
come along, somebody might come along and just drop, $1 million or $2 million, put a pool in and put a legacy in there to pay for it.
Yeah.
And then we'll build a pool.
and that happens.
And that happens.
It absolutely
Happens all the
does
time.
happen.
Well, it's actually more like $10 million.
Yeah.
Well, it's 10 to 13 million, I
To
think.
build it.
10 to
Almost.
13 million to
Yeah.
build, they just did that on.
Yeah,
in the
and $1 million
Williams
a year
Lake.
for it.
Yeah.
You know, we're hoping that when you go, you'll donate.
That's a nice
I
pool.
will. I'll donate everything I've got.
Okay.
It'll be a small pool. Real small.
Well, my thing with that is like, if there's somebody who's got that much money and is, say, drop them $1 million a year to run it, and everything, do we really want them to spend all their money on a pool? Well, there's all sorts of things that this island could use that we would just spread the money around. That's my
I'll
thing.
build some houses.
You don't need to look at gift horse in the mouth. They want to build a pool.
Well, yeah, I don't think they're gonna show up anyway, but, because they would have by now if they were gonna. Yeah.
Okay.
That was
I'm
valuable
still a
discussion.
positive advocate. I'm not saying no. I'm
Let's
still
close that one.
That
pushing
was
it.
valuable
That was,
discussion.
it was
Yeah.
very valuable. That
Yeah, no,
was a
it's
worthwhile
great, and
discussion.
I'm, just hang in there, Noah, to the best you can.
Yeah, it's not all of them, there's a lot of people voting for it too, so. But
It's
a good
just that it's a
chunk
concern.
are like,
Well, if we don't have to raise taxes, we don't have to vote, isn't that right?
No,
No?
you still have to vote to borrow the money,
borrow the
but
money.
it has no tax implications.
There
Oh,
is,
okay.
the $3 million is tax neutral,
Tax neutral for the.
when you look at all the leased spaces that were, yeah.
So it's not, and that's the other thing.
but it's not a tax neutral bill at all.
But the tax-
Well, who knows what it's
That's
gonna
what they're
end up
trying to do.
But the municipal portion of it is gonna be tax neutral.
Yeah.
And I hope that they don't think that they're actually having to pay for the municipal hall as part of that structure. And they think, well, if it wasn't the municipal
No.
hall wasn't there, we'd have all.
No, I explained that part
Oh,
to
okay,
them,
good.
yeah, no, I explained that part to them,
Yeah.
no, they know that. They had a different idea, I guess, the
Yeah.
group I was talking to have a different idea of how to do it, that's all.
Everybody.
And I should just say, listen, you should have got involved at the start then, like, what are you doing, sitting at home thinking about it?
Well,
Yeah,
there's
Yeah.
some truth in
You
that.
know, we can only do the best we can. We got a lot of brilliant people working on it.
that's a
Not
brilliant
me, but
idea.
A lot of brilliant people working on it, and
Yeah.
they've come up with a pretty good thing that's very flexible. Anyway,
I'm with you.
Okay, so let's carry on with the action items. So this is where I was supposed to do something, I did.
yeah.
The research, I've switched to the next page.
Yeah.
So we're on the research funding possibilities for side-by-side tennis courts with lights and bubble. I'm not sure I added the bubble part, but.
I know, I kinda like the bubble. Then it's
But
multi-seasonal.
kind of said the bubble, okay, the trouble.
Pain in
A
the
bubble
bubble.
is trouble.
Pain in the bubble. Pain in the bubble.
Anyway, I'm sorry, I haven't done anything. I thought about it a few times.
Me too.
I really want to do
Yeah,
something.
yeah, no, I was thinking about driving down from Worcester actually tonight.
Okay, this is Gary's. Work on municipal land designated as part of the community center for skate park. So that